Last Christmas I gave you my heart. The very next day, Ten Hag was still here. Please sack him. He's doing no good. He's ruining Manchester United's one narrative, and you know that I'm right. Who is that? Who sings that song?
Is that stuff in your way?
No, this is good. This is part of my mystique.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who sings that song?
I don't know. They probably got some. You know, them people back in the day had mad names like Wow and Fab.
Wham.
Yeah.
Is it Wham? Is it actually Wham?
It might be Wham.
No, Wham is It's Christmas. Guys, let's start the show.
Yes, guys. Welcome back to Armchair Gaffers.
Go on, Dan. Go on, Dan. Carry on.
I forgot my lines.
That's cool. I'll do it. In the famous words of Joe Biden, when he became the first man to summit Mount Everest butt naked, we back, baby. Guys, you all know what it is. It's Armchair Gaffers. The cast may look very more brown today than normal. Usually the hue is a lot more desaturated. But we've turned the saturation all the way up.
Yes.
Turned the highlights all the way down.
Come on.
Increased the contrast. It's me, the Dragon Lord. Centre mid, we got Letije.
Yes.
And we've had to enlist the help of none other than Dapo CEO or CEO Dapo? Daps from Le Counterattack Podcast. If you don't know, you better get to know. I may put the description.
Yes, you will. You
in
will.
the description.
You will.
Guys, Dan is away on a scouting mission.
In national duty, he's on.
Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Scorch and SB are serving drugs bans. Yeah, so they got the Paul Pogba treatment, but they will be back once the PGMOL ratify.
Oh, I didn't know it was a drug ban. I thought it was betting.
So TJ, you're gonna do Dan pause.
Yes. Heavy pause.
You'll be Dan today.
Better.
You're on trial. Last week, a lot of people liked what you're doing, and I told these people, the more props you give TJ, you're just tying the noose around his neck. Okay, I don't want to hear, "Oh, TJ was so good, man." No, I don't want to hear that. Okay, I want to hear silence. I want to hear silence.
I feel that.
If that's even a thing.
I don't want to hear silence. If you guys want to keep telling me about my football knowledge, if you guys want to keep telling me about having an Aston Villa fan being a really good perspective, just put it in the comments down below. Really, my ego has kind of doubled, footballer wise, in the past couple of weeks. But we're gonna stay humble. I'll do what many great footballers do, and when the media start talking, just keep doing the job.
Yo, it's a piece of shit. Yeah, today it's been a good weekend for football for all of us here because me and Daps are Asna, your Villa,
come on,
and we're just doing our thing. So today we're going to let you know what we're doing before we do it. Hopefully that works. Before we continue, please be sure to follow us on wherever you do your thing.
Yeah.
We're on Spotify. For those of you that watch us on YouTube, I've got a hack where you can have YouTube playing in the background on your phone, even when you lock the screen.
Don't you have that anyway?
What? No, that's YouTube Premium.
I've got YouTube.
No. Forget Premium. I've got a hack where you can play a video on YouTube, lock your phone, and the audio will still play.
How's that?
I'm not gonna say it out loud. If you guys want to know, hit us up on the DMs on any social media.
But you still get your ads.
No ads.
You know what's it? No, you get ads. You have to.
Now that you mentioned it, I just realized there's no ads. Now that you mentioned it, there's no ads.
It's so funny because very quickly, we're going to get to the football. Obviously, I got YouTube Premium. I mean, I was using someone else's YouTube not too long ago. And I saw an advert and I was like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
Because I've not had normal YouTube for like 3 years.
So basically, I didn't know that Spotify had ads.
Yeah.
So my friend was in my car the other day. He said, "Yo, let me do the Bluetooth." I'm like, "Cool." I'm hearing ads. I'm like, "You on YouTube?" He's like, "No."
He's on Spotify.
Damn.
Cost of living crisis.
Cost of
I can't do that.
So today we are going to start the show talking about Arsenal because we never start on Arsenal nowadays. So we think it's only right. We're then going to migrate where, TJ?
Going to go over to City, go over to the Etihad Stadium.
The Etihad?
over to East Manchester.
Then we're going to look at Liverpool, Manchester United,
Manchester
the Ball Fest.
United.
And use the beer Ball Fest. I tried to warn you guys, but no one listens to me.
Then over to a random bus stop in Hounslow. Brentford versus Aston Villa today.
Of course. Then we're going to do Tottenham. No, we're going to do Chelsea. And then Tottenham and dust over the other teams. So guys, stay tuned and be sure to hit the like button. It looks like this and it costs you nothing. But it may cost you your lives if you don't do it, because I'll find you and I'll kiss you. What? All right, boom.
So, I think we should start with Arsenal. Ran out 2-0 winners against Brighton. North London was not as sunny as the coast this weekend. Goals from Jesus and Havertz. And Arsenal were 2-0 win. As Arsenal fans, how would you guys digest the game today?
Do you want to go? Shall I? You go.
Thank you, brother. Last night I was struggling to sleep, and then I was going through the internet and I saw Pep Guardiola said when asked who the favourites for this for the title are, he said Arsenal, and he said that if you look at how they played against Villa, although they lost, they were not dominated. They controlled the game. They were just unlucky to lose. And it got me thinking, I was like, this guy's right. He knows more about football than I will ever know. Like, he already knows more than I will ever know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if this is Pep Guardiola saying this, then it must be true. And I started to think about what I always say. When I attack Manchester United, which is what I do like daily, I'm like, United, you guys need to be careful because you're getting points, but you're playing badly. And I thought about Arsenal, and I was like, Arsenal, look at the points they've dropped this season in the league. Like, very rarely has it been a bad performance.
Yeah.
It may be bad by Arsenal's high standards, but the games where they dropped points this season, had that been under Emery when we had like Lacazette, Aubameyang, Pepe, Socrates, those have been good performances. So I'm now judging teams not on just only how they win, but how they lose.
Okay.
And I looked at how Arsenal lost against Villa, looked at how they lost 2-2 against Chelsea, how they lost against Newcastle. These were not losses to be ashamed of at all by a long shot. So based on that, last night when I was in bed, that was the point I was making, I said that Arsenal are the real deal. This was before the Brighton game. I just thought there's no way they can live with us. Not this Brighton from this season, languishing and we're like 10th in the table.
9th,
10th. I was like, there's no way they'll be able to live with Arsenal. It will take an almighty collapse from our hitters for Brighton to have any chance.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened today. Arsenal were dominant from start to finish. I think we had 19 attempts on goal in the first half, and they weren't just 19 attempts. They were like genuine chances. Like sometimes we didn't even pull the trigger, like with Odegaard a few times, but we're creating genuine chances. And I was like, this is a team that I'm proud to support.
You guys are playing I think you're playing like winners now. Last season you're playing like contenders. You're playing like as the undercard, but you were at the top of the table. So that's why it kind of felt a bit weird. I think this season you're playing as winners. Sorry.
No, go. I think the difference is though, like last year Arsenal were like playing like we had imposter syndrome. Like we didn't deserve to be there. Whereas this season, like you said, it's like we're not blowing teams away, but we're getting the results, and we actually look like big boys on that pitch. Like, so even the Brighton game, as much as I think, I was thinking to myself, this is a tough game, man. I know what they did to us last season, and Arsenal
And the season before.
Yeah, Arsenal
And before that
generally
as well.
And the season before.
Arsenal generally struggle against teams like, well put together teams.
Yeah.
But even though I knew it was a tough game, there was something in me that was just like, do you know what? We got this.
Yeah. After the first half, I said to myself, we do that again second half, the goal will come. It's impossible.
I didn't expect domination like that though.
No.
Especially with the way we've been playing, we're a bit, hit and miss sometimes.
Nah, for sure.
But like, we absolutely dominated them. For that first half, they couldn't get out. They couldn't get out the half. And our players just looked like on a different level. And it actually looked like, when Man City, when they're on fire, play against a lesser team and you just know the goal's coming soon. That's what it was like. But second half, where we started, when they started, did you watch the game?
All of it.
Yeah, when they started like giving the ball away to us and we weren't capitalising, I was like, there's something very Villarish about this game right now.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking we're not going to take the chances. And once Jesus got his goal, in fact, when Pascal Gross had that chance, I was like, do you know what? We need that second goal.
I said to myself, there's a few things that I said, but when Brighton tried to score, I said, the game's over for them.
Yeah.
Because now you're going to create spaces in behind. But you know what I love about Arsenal now? I love that period in the game where we're only winning by a goal and the other team pile the pressure on, and they can't break us down.
Yeah.
Like it's not very easy, and that's that old adage. I think Fergie said it: attack wins games, defense wins titles, and our defense is pretty mean.
Bro,
We've got a
listen.
very, very, very solid back four.
Black four?
Black four.
Ben White is not black; he's white, and his
white.
name is also Ben White.
Yeah, that's true. Not a black four.
Yeah,
Back four. What, did you ever have a black four?
we did have a black four once.
2003?
It was Ashley Cole, Lauren, Toure, and Sol Campbell,
And Sol Campbell.
and Jens Lehmann.
And William Gallas on the bench.
Fun
No,
fact,
no, he wasn't there.
I got Lauren's number in my phone.
Yeah.
Etame,
Lauren Etam, whatever his name is.
Etame, yeah.
I got him.
Call him.
Should I call him?
Call him, man. Just say, yo, Lauren, I appreciate you, man. Bye.
I'm not gonna call him.
But guys, this is a bit of Arsenal loving. Like,
Well, I was going to say,
there's not much to say, man. Arsenal just great.
Can I just say as well? Sorry, I've not actually had a chance to say this on anyone's podcast but mine. All you doubters of Havertz.
That's what we got to talk about.
All you doubters of Havertz.
Point at me, please.
Oh, was you a doubter? I'm pointing at you, mate.
I was a doubter as well. I was a doubter.
Yeah, I think for me the Havertz thing was that I'm okay with people not playing well. My only real issue was that Arteta kept playing him. That was my issue. And I think that's what was killing him because you can see the position. He didn't know the position what was wanted from him.
Where was he playing though? He was playing false line and he was playing left edge.
Yeah, like, he didn't know what he was doing. But rather than introducing him slowly, Arteta kept playing him. But over the last couple of weeks, you can see obviously people are saying he's playing better because he's scoring. But away from the scoring, he's actually impacting games and actually, contributing. And it just goes to show that you shouldn't just write players off, bro, because Havertz looks like a totally different player.
Totally
Ridiculous.
different.
I feel like with Havertz and Rice, them two together filled the Xhaka void. Does that make sense? Because Havertz hasn't got the skill set to do it. Rice hasn't got the complete skill set to do it. But together they kind of fill that gap. But with Arteta playing Havertz continuously when he was bleeding out, like you got to play yourself into form, I guess. And the goals do make things look a lot better.
Yeah.
But
you can tell that Arteta loves Havertz as well. Like a penny for Emil Smith-Rowe's thoughts because he thought that he was a star boy getting given a number 10 jersey. And then Havertz has kind of come in and you can just tell that there's a certain love towards Havertz from Arteta.
they're both German, Arteta and Havertz. Guys, on the subject of Havertz, we need to be, not we because we support Arsenal, but the rivals need to be concerned because I kept saying at the start of the season, hey guys, Arsenal are still like challenging, like we're still in the upper reaches of the table and we're currently on plan C1. People are like, it's not plan C1. I'm like, yeah, once, because he's forcing Havertz in. Like, once Havertz actually starts performing, we might go to plan B, B2, B3, maybe B1. And when we get to plan A1, it's a wrap of everyone. With Havertz doing what he's doing now, with Jesus being the facilitator, with Martinelli and Saka looking dangerous every time, with Rice looking like one of maybe only 3 or 3 to 5 £100 million plus bargains ever.
Yeah.
There's only like, how many people can you think that are bargain at the price? Mbappe.
How much is Neymar?
200.
200.
No.
Definitely not.
Mbappe, Rice, Gareth Bale, Ronaldo. I'm adjusting for inflation, by the way.
And Bellingham.
Yeah.
And Bellingham. Like 5 players over 100 million that you say, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you know their value. You know they're good because you don't talk about their price tag.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
it. So yeah.
Well, yeah, it was Arsenal. You guys unbeaten in 12 home games now. Do you want to guess who your last home defeat was to?
I'll probably know it.
3-0 home loss in May of this year.
Was that
Brighton?
the first?
It was Brighton.
Brighton, yeah.
Was it Brighton? Oh.
Yeah. So now that you guys have beaten Brighton this season,
Yeah.
you might go unbeaten. Unbeaten for the rest of the season.
Arsenal hard to play against, man. I'll say that.
But I do want to touch on Brighton very quickly.
Yep.
Because as an Aston Villa fan, the Premier League has got mini leagues in there, right?
Yeah.
So you've got obviously the top 6, the typical top 6, now a top 5 because Chelsea. And then you've kind of got these second tier teams, the Newcastles, the Brightons, the Aston Villas.
We call them area boys.
Yeah, I call them, Mr. Brown likes to call them the ones that look over the fence, the peepers.
Home improvement.
Shout out Mr. Brown. Eat, talk, drink, sleep, and breathe. A blood clot? Breathe what?
Breathe. Eat, drink, and talk football podcast.
That's literally what I said.
Do
Word
you
for
not
word.
watch back in the... How old are you?
24.
No, you won't. Can you remember Home Improvement?
Yeah.
Remember the
Tim
guy used to
Allen.
look over the fence?
Oh yeah, his neighbour, Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson, not Mr. Wilson.
It might be Mr. Wilson.
But you never saw his face.
Yeah. That's what.
That's us. We are third in the table, but I want to just put something out to Brighton. They have only won 2 of their last 10 Premier League home games.
Games.
All games. Sorry,
okay.
2 of their last 10 Premier League matches. They sit 9th, 4 points ahead of Chelsea. Brighton's still good.
Yeah.
Brighton's so good, man.
2 wins in 10.
I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying it. When you start performing, okay, when you're the unknown quantity, it's great. But the minute you start performing, teams know you're good. You now have a target on your back. I say this every single week. I said it about you guys. It's going to happen soon. Teams know that Brighton are good. But today, Brighton were very stubborn with their playing out from the back.
Yeah.
That's how they've always been.
Yeah, but it's like they were, I don't know. But no, with Brighton now, they're still good. But except now teams are prepared for them. There's a lot of data now. Like you can analyze a lot of data and say, cool, more than likely they're going to do X, Y, and Z. So you can counter that. Whereas before, it was an unknown quantity.
Go on.
I was going
to say, in my opinion, I think Brighton have got a very good foundation, tactical foundation. I think Robert De Zerbi is probably one of the most overrated football managers in the world.
I love that.
Overrated football managers in the world.
I love that, yeah.
When he took over Brighton from Graham Potter, they were 7th. At the end of the season,
they were 3rd, right?
They were 6th. Wow. They finished 6th last season. When Unai Emery took over from Aston Villa, they were 17th. They finished 7th.
Agendas.
And people want to tell me
with this now.
that De Zerbi is better than Emery. Leave it out. 2 wins in 10 Premier League matches.
Could De Zerbi be like a case of like you just like walking into like a fully furnished house?
Yeah.
And it's you just living there.
And
when you upgrade like the couches a little bit.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
But I do think that with Brighton, I think a lot of the time people forget that because they've got such good recruitment. People always just like, oh yeah, he's not really doing much or whatever. But they're only replacing the players. But I'm not going to lie to you.
Who's 21 for Real Madrid? Who is that? Who's 21 for Real Madrid?
That's
Is that Arda Güler?
That's Arda Güler.
Look, if you saw the turn,
Is that Güler? No, that's not.
Is that Brahim Diaz?
That's Brahim.
If you saw the
Yeah,
turn that he
Diaz,
done,
yeah.
sorry guys, we're watching Real Madrid versus Villarreal.
I can see the guy doing this.
If you saw his turn, if you saw his turn from midfield, he had no right. He made that goal out of nothing.
Brahim Diaz.
Brahim Diaz,
disgusting.
guys, give us a moment because we need to watch this. He made that goal out of absolutely nothing. Look at this,
so
okay?
funny.
Look at this. Killed him, and then head up,
Twist in and out.
Shem, bam,
Finish.
bam. Wow. Back to football now.
Yes.
Before we continue, guys, we're gonna move on.
Yeah, we can move on.
Before we continue,
No. Wait. Sorry. On that point, very, very quickly. I think what I was trying to say is that as much as they're not performing as well, I think because they always replace the players that they've lost, it kind of goes unnoticed. But I think McAllister and Casieda, with the way that they were playing, were massive losses. And Baleba's come in, and there's probably someone else that's coming, Benanotti or someone, I don't know.
Adingra's come up through the.
and Cicio's injured.
And Cicio's
injured. They are missing big pieces to. But you can still see like there were times today in that second half. I'm not gonna lie, like 2-minute periods.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh no, this is Brighton. This is Brighton.
But can you sustain that though? Because even Manchester United can do things like that for like a minute or so.
Yeah.
Even teams as bad as United can show.
I like to rate teams over 10 games. And I've been saying that Brighton weren't as good as everyone thought since last season. People also forget that Aston Villa pumped them 6-0. Just putting that out there. And it wasn't even like a Newcastle at the start of the season when they beat us 5-1, where Tyrone Mings gets injured and all the players are kind of shook. We beat them very fair and square 6-0. But I agree with you. I think Brighton, they have had a couple.
You're a horrible person, TJ.
I hate Brighton with everything. They just get so much credit for doing nothing.
Your local
Studs on the
local derby, yeah.
Yeah, studs on the ball.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
This is the real TJ, guys. But let's move on. Before we move on, guys, please forgive us because we want to just send our thoughts and prayers to Tom Lockyer, who suffered a cardiac arrest yesterday. Brother, please get well soon. As bad as Luton are, we wish you the best. Luton are horrible.
Shout out Tom Lockyer.
But shout out Tom Lockyer, bro, please.
He scored this season, right?
I don't know.
I think so.
Against Everton, I think.
Was it him that scored? I remember that goal.
Everton. Bro, Go. I can't. I was gonna go off on something.
I was going
Go on, no, this is what we do. We go off on tangents.
Yeah, please.
Okay, can I just tell you this? Yeah, I saw a clip the other day, a compilation clip of Bellingham versus whoever they played in the Champions League in the last game. Yeah, my thing with Bellingham, is that no, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Okay.
My thing with Bellingham is that you can see he literally soaks up. If he sees someone's got an attribute, okay, I'm going to take that and bring it in. Blah blah blah. Like he's just so good. I was watching this clip, and I'm telling you, this guy's got Zizou in him.
Well, look at the size of him, bro.
Bro,
Wow.
he's got Zizou in him. And people are going to think I'm crazy for saying that. But I need to find this clip and show you. The way he moves his body, and I'm like, where's he getting this from?
Mark. He gets it from Mark, believe me.
Fam, it's
Do you know who Mark
Zidane.
is?
No.
Mark Bellingham, his dad. Legend, non-league.
He was actually a good player at non-league level. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say on Bellingham.
I just hope, I need Bellingham for you. Just give me 10 years at this level, please. Because if he does that, he's going to go down as one of the greatest of all time.
Oh, easily.
I think he will. I think he will. Look at that.
This.
Look at him.
And we're not even in third phase Bellingham.
No, we're not.
We're only in second phase Bellingham.
When this team is built around him,
oh
Lord, it's a wrap for everyone.
when Papa Perez brings Endrick comes in.
Crazy.
Once
Cheat code.
Papa Perez, once he buys, I don't know who he'll buy. He'll buy someone.
Yeah.
He'll buy people.
Fit Mbappe's guy.
Yeah. But anyways, let's move on. We're gonna go next to.
I was going to say, yes, speaking of wonder kids from the Birmingham area, Manchester City drew 2-2 with Crystal Palace. Jack Grealish on the score sheet.
Okay.
3 goals in 3 home games for Manchester City. And Rico Lewis scoring in the 54th minute. I bet probably a lot of Manchester City fans would have thought, all right, 2-0, 54 minutes, let's clean up ship. But Roy Hodgson, who probably is the real Joe Biden, had other thoughts with Mateta scoring in the 76th minute and then a last-minute Michael Elise penalty. What do you think of this game?
So I went first last time, Dax. Do you want to go first?
Watching the game, I felt like City were extremely comfortable, but then there's this thing about City where they just let you in.
Who's this animal?
Jesus. They just let you in, and like
Rodrigo.
they're not killing teams off properly. So even at 2-0, before when City would go up 2-0, you just think the game's done. I don't have that feeling with City right now.
They're not
You know what I'm
intimidating
saying?
anymore.
Yeah, so then as soon as Mateta, I feel like right now, any team that's got a bit of belief about them or any sort of flair or anything about them can get at City right now. And the moment Mateta got that goal back, City, there's this thing about it where it looks like they crumble sometimes. Where, before you could not get them crumbling. Now it looks like they're crumbling. I knew that come last minute. Well, I didn't know it, obviously, but I weren't surprised that Crystal Palace got that final goal. And I do think City are actually just struggling right now. When I looked at the table and I saw that, I know it's still early, whatever, but they're like, 6 points behind us right now?
Yeah, I think it was 5 actually.
Is it 5?
I believe it was 5.
It's 5 or 6. Like, but mate,
We're 1 point behind you guys and they're 4 points behind us, so it'll be 5.
Can we not always just bring Villa into this?
We have not brought Villa into this for the past 10 years.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
This is the real TJ, people. I'm telling you, he's not a good person. So I feel like City are showing a bit of a delayed onset of muscle soreness, a bit of DOMS. Okay. The delayed onset is the fact that they should have had this slump last season when they lost Sterling, Mahrez, and someone else left last year.
do you mean this summer or last summer?
No, last summer.
Gundogan.
Last summer.
Gabriel
last summer.
Jesus, Zinchenko.
Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, Sterling,
Son left before, I think.
Mahrez.
Mahrez was
left
this
this one.
season.
Okay, cool. Those 3. It was 3 people. But somehow they managed to dig deep and find answers. And I feel like a lot of those answers were in the form of Erling Braut Haaland. And he papered over many, many, many cracks. This season, we can say like they've missed Rodri at times. They've missed KDB. And we're seeing without KDB that Haaland isn't a very good football player. But he'll score loads of goals. No disrespect. Like, this is just the facts. But I feel like it's just a delayed onset of what could have happened last season. And it's accentuated now with the loss of Ilkay Gundogan.
100%.
And I think one of the things that's holding City back is that us pundits, if you would, look at them and think, oh yeah, don't worry. Come February, March, April, they'll turn it up. And we just assume that's going to happen. But that's not always the case. So I feel like players like Mateus Nunes, Good player, but like there's levels to this football thing. Players like Mateo Kovacic, I'm a big fan of, but there's levels to this. Josko Gvardiol, again, I see what Pep's doing there, but not ready. They've missed John Stones.
Is he not fit or something? Why do they keep bringing him on? Like
He's back. He's only just come back. Like
Yeah, only just come back now.
I feel like the Gundogan, the Sterling, the Mahrez, the Zinchenko, and the Jesus. I feel like now they're really seeing the effects of missing those players, like seasoned title winners.
And they're bringing in young players now because in the past 2 seasons, obviously they've sold Sterling, Jesus, Zinchenko, and this season it was Gundogan, Mahrez, and Laporte.
That's the one.
And they've sold all these players, and in turn they've brought in players like Alvarez, Haaland. Is that okay? They've brought in players like Alvarez, Haaland, Doku has come in, Matheus Nunes has come in, Kovacic has come in, and Gvardiol. And whilst these are good players, we always said that there's a pep tax of 1 year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's always a pep tax of 1 year. So if you're, and I remember an interview that Pep done a couple of seasons ago where he said, in order to keep winning, you need to keep having fresh faces in your dressing room.
Facts.
Because nowadays the margins are so small for winning titles and championships that it only takes 1 season for everyone to get egotistical, and then they go, well, we'll just do it again next season. But I think now what we're looking at City is a team that have probably, it's not the right balance. And as great as a manager Pep is, his teams have always had such incredible balance. He can play this formation. He'll do a 4-3-3. He'll do a 3-1-4-2. He'll do a 3-2-5. He can play all these formations. But now looking at City, they've only won 1 of their last 6 games.
And who was that against? Who were these last games against?
Luton was their last game. So City at this moment in time, they have got into that, but I can tell you that they drew against Spurs.
Yeah. Drew
Drew against Chelsea. Drew against Liverpool.
Yeah. They lost to Wolves. No, that was long before.
No, I think Wolves was in that run.
Yeah.
And they drew to they lost to Aston Villa.
Oh wow.
So
Was that good? Yeah. Oh, don't do that, bro, please. Oh, that's the main one. So yeah. But like I listen, last season I said many things about City. I said, yeah, don't worry, I also got this. So now I'm a bit weary to just write them off so early in the season. We're not even halfway through the season yet. We've still got another 2 more games to go till we're at the halfway point officially. Yeah. So I don't want to write them off.
Is this the worst Man City team that you've seen since?
Yeah. Since they got founded 12 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, since they got rid of the likes of like Stephen Ireland, Craig Bellamy,
Elano.
But before that, man.
Richard Dunn.
I said that one first.
I said that Stephen Ireland first.
Michael Johnson.
Oh, he was a player though.
He was a player.
Come on.
There was another Brazilian.
No,
he used to play next to Elano.
Fernando.
No, this was back.
I'm thinking about a South American like
Caicedo.
It's like Caicedo. Yeah, it was Caicedo. It was the first Caicedo.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
I just know Sean Goater.
This is after the Goater times.
Yeah.
But no, this is the worst I've seen City play. But the thing is, they've got players who've got ability. Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, Julian Alvarez, who have now accepted as a very good football player.
He's sick, bro.
He's very good.
He's very good. I think if he was in any other team but City, I think he'd be like rated more.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
But yeah, only time will tell with City. But I feel like we need to stop just thinking they're gonna somehow find some form and just be good all of a sudden when they've been very, very.
How
bad.
do they find form? How does
KDB?
What does Pep do to turn us around?
KDB.
32-year-old KDB? Has he got the XP to save them?
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
What they won't be doing, I'm pretty sure, is making any signings in January.
Why not?
Who would they go for? Paqueta?
I don't know, but I do think that will they make signings? I think they'll make signings just in case anything comes up with that whole case thing that they got.
If you're the Manchester City sporting director, you're earning £2.5 billion a year, but obviously on your contract it says 150k.
Yes.
You choose one signing to make in January. Who would you sign?
Kylian Mbappe.
Nice.
In January?
In January.
Realistic? No, that's not realistic.
No, because that's the only time PSG can get any money for him. So it's quite realistic.
No. Because
if Kylian Mbappe signed for Manchester City in January, Brexit all over again. The country is divided.
Really?
There would be uproar. There'd be looting.
not in Jan. Why they're still fighting for a league and they're still in Europa League now, isn't it?
No,
Champions League.
Champions League.
Oh, they actually qualified
after Dortmund. Yeah,
they actually qualified. Yeah, no way. Not in Jan. Not in Jan. Who would I go for? I think Paqueta, but obviously I don't know what's going on with
still hanging over.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Do you know who I'd sign if I was Manchester City?
Harry Maguire.
Ivan Toney.
Oh, Antonio. Interesting. To play when Haaland's not playing.
To play in times where you don't want to play Erling Haaland. As much Erling Haaland is a goal scorer, he's a bagsman, but he's very good at three things: goal scoring, being in the right position, and goal scoring. So
in that order, yeah.
Huh?
In that order.
In that order. So if I'm Manchester City, I look for a backup striker who's going to offer the same play style in terms of kind of physique and run on the last man, being able to win headers in transitions. But I would also look for a striker that can do something slightly different.
Do you know what's crazy?
I don't think Anthony would go there.
You know what's crazy? That is even more unrealistic than Mbappe.
Oh, 100% more unrealistic.
Yeah, because
unrealistic.
Yeah, because think about it. Ivan Toney's not a mug.
No.
Yeah? He's not stupid like Calvin Phillips, yeah, to think he's gonna go to Man City and be a starter.
Yeah.
Like Ivan Toney's got, as good as he is, you got to look at who you're challenging.
Do you know what? I don't think people realise how good Ivan Toney actually. I mean, I don't think he's top quality in terms of firing you to a title, but I think he's.
No, I think it's good.
I think he's that next level. He's good,
me personally, I think he's very good, but I prefer for what I like. I prefer Ollie Watkins. That's just my That's just my preference. So that's not me saying Watkins is better.
You know what? I'm gonna say this now. Yeah, I think Ollie Watkins, his form is down to me.
Down to you.
Down to me. Yeah.
I was not expecting that. Explain.
I think it's down to me. So,
guys, this is Dapo, by the way, Counter Attack Podcast.
Counter Attack Podcast. Yes, this is me. Many a time we talk, me and Ollie.
Okay.
Good friend of mine, great guy. Been on my podcast. If you ain't seen it, check it out. Yeah. And I always used to. Oh, I'm not even trying to be funny. I always used to tell him, stop being so selfish. He used to be so. I mean, he needs to be more selfish. He used to do too much for the team, and then now I feel like he's not on it. He's just on just getting the goals now.
Yeah.
And I used to tell him all the time, and now look.
To be fair, one thing I will say about Ollie Watkins is before Unai Emery, as an Aston Villa fan, I got to watch him quite a lot. Before Unai Emery, Steven Gerrard used to go, Ollie, when that ball comes, run after it.
Yeah.
And Ollie would be like, what do you want me to do after that? And Steven Gerrard would be like, score. What else do you want me to say? Unai Emery has now said to Ollie Watkins, you are only allowed to make your runs in the width of the penalty box.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah. You can't make runs down the channel because we need you in the width of the penalty box. He also said to Ollie Watkins, he was like, I want you to go study the running of Karim Benzema. I want you to go study old school Fernando Torres. Strikers that have got who are deceptively fast. And since doing that, Ollie Watkins has now scored as many goals as he has. Obviously, we're not talking about Ollie Watkins though. Back to Manchester City. You messaged me this yesterday.
What did I say?
Why didn't Sky Sports or Match of the Day show the Edison penalty highlight?
Oh yeah. You know what?
A penalty?
No, not penalty. The last man challenge.
Last man challenge.
But we're going to call it a penalty.
Nah, it was a yellow card.
Okay, but that's not the question though.
He's the last. Yeah, why wasn't it shown?
It was shown. Oh no, but I watched it live. Okay. They didn't show it.
They didn't show the highlights on Sky Sports.
Yeah.
Match of the Day.
Yeah.
Really?
Pundits didn't talk about it. Nothing.
Yeah. Nothing.
And I feel like this is not the lot. Do you remember Edison versus Jude Bellingham, Champions League, when Jude Bellingham scored a perfectly fine goal?
Yeah. Oh, when it was at Dortmund.
And it was at Dortmund.
Yeah.
And then Edison flopped on the floor. Edison, very, very good goalkeeper. But he can't keep getting away with this.
Oh, look who he plays for. Look who signs his checks.
That's true.
The same people that sign his checks signed the checks for world football.
I think he's overrated anyway. I think when people talk about Edison, they literally talk about his kicking. And they forget about his goalkeeping.
He makes a lot of good saves.
No, he's a keeper. I expect some saves sometimes.
Yeah, he makes a lot of good saves. What is the difference between Edison and Onana?
Yes. Well, Onana is black. Onana's black. Onana is actually black.
With a hat top.
With a high top. Nana's first name is Andre, which is quite wavy for someone from Cameroon.
Yeah.
He's black.
Mm.
Um,
I'm gonna say it. Comment down below the difference between Onana
You're really
and
good at
Edison.
this. Have you got your own podcast?
I don't know.
Oh, you're really good.
my scouting network, guys.
Oh, yeah.
My scouting abilities. I find diamonds in the toilet.
Call me Facundo Buenanotte.
That's what TJ was. He was just. I found Chris as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found Josco. Listen, me and my scouting prowess, guys. Yeah,
Very good scouting network.
I wish I could zoom in, but
Where do you find you?
no, that's not. It's not important. We're moving on.
Quick one on Crystal Palace. Palace have, whilst they did get the result against Manchester City, they've only won 1 of their last 10 games. They sit 15th, 8 points ahead of Luton, but with a game in hand. Are Crystal Palace missing Wilfried Zaha?
No, because this is what they do every season, even with Zaha. I'm so tired of them. I feel like they're not going to get relegated, but equally they're not going to probably go above 10th.
I just realised Galatasaray didn't qualify for the Champions League. Look how fucking idiot.
Europa.
Fucking
Wilfried
child,
Zaha is
bro.
going to go on an absolute tour of the Europa League because he is twerking for European football.
Yeah, that's his first taste of Champions League football, isn't it? He didn't play at United,
Yeah,
did
but
he?
I'm happy from there that he got there.
He scored at the Old Trafford, to be fair, which I knew felt good for him.
When I was in Sweden, back in the summer, I met these guys that are pro football players for Sirius. Anyways, they're actually like first teamers.
Mm.
We was just hanging out, and the guy was like, we were talking about Zaha and his move to Gala. He's like, oh yeah, I was in Turkey for a little bit, and when you play for one of the lesser teams, if you would, you get mad bonuses if you play one of the big boys, Fener, Gala, Besiktas, and if you beat them, each player gets a crazy bonus.
Ooh.
Talking like a £30,000 bonus. Yeah, literally.
Because you have to topple those Turkish big boys.
But yeah, we digress.
Speaking of Wilfried Zaha, it's not really that good of a segue, but I'm just going to go over to Liverpool 0, Manchester United 0.
Wait, you're not going to get away with that. No.
Yeah,
no.
Wilfried Zaha plays
No.
Manchester United. We'll talk about Manchester United and Old Trafford. I'm going to try again. Speaking of Manchester United, they went to Anfield today, allowed Anfield.
Yeah.
Very.
So what's happened? Is there another tier?
They've built another tier at the other end.
But
What is it? That's not. When was that open?
today. But what's
that's
weird
it.
is that below that tier, there was a row of at least 10 deep seats going across that was empty.
Yeah, I think today's record was 57,000.
Yeah.
And once that middle tier is ready, it's going to be 60,000 seats. I've clocked what they're doing. They're not they're not building up. They're just building in.
Yeah.
So like that top stand goes back very, very far.
Okay.
And it's very steep.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to know why stadiums in London, like Arsenal Stadium and Tottenham Stadium, max out at 62,000 seats, even though they could easily both have 100,000 every week? Do you know what? Do you want to know why they stop at 60,000?
No.
Because like you look at Old Trafford, right, 75,000. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Old Trafford is supported by a train station.
Yeah.
Which has more capacity. Yeah. You look at Wembley. Yeah, they've got brand new Wembley Park tube station. Yeah, massive capacity. So basically, if you're gonna have a stadium with more than 62,000 seats in London, you have to also upgrade the tube station to raise its capacity.
So that's why they don't do it.
And anyone that's been to Spurs Stadium knows that they don't have a tube station. They've got an overground.
They've got an overground, which is just over there.
Yeah.
And they got they got nothing, which is why they have to stop at 60,000.
Yeah.
So if Arsenal wanna, who would they upgrade? Caledonian Road.
Drayton Park.
That's the train station, but like that has like barely service.
Highbury Islington, Holloway Road.
Highbury Islington will be the most likely one.
Holloway Road. No, I think it's Holloway
Finsbury
Road.
Park.
Holloway, I go Highbury Islington and walk down.
Yeah, or Holloway Road.
So they have to upgrade that tube station, I guess, or even Arsenal tube station. But they have to.
It makes sense.
Do people still use that station? I don't like. It's not. It's not in use, is it?
Nah, it's just like
No one uses the Piccadilly line.
No, people use it. Is that the dark blue one?
Yeah.
No, I don't use that.
Yeah.
No. But we digress. Manchester United sporting directive went to Anfield.
Drew 0-0. Andre Onana's 8 saves against Liverpool are the most by a Man United keeper without conceding a goal since a one David De Gea against Spurs in January 2019. Liverpool had 34 shots against Man United, their most on record since the 2003-04 season in a Premier League game without scoring, and the most by any side without a goal in a competition since Man United's 38 versus Burnley in October 2016. I just want to put it out there and say, I knew this was going to happen.
I think I knew. as well.
When Sky Sports commentators at the start of the game went, we all know what's going to happen now, but surely it's not this easy. I went, the script is written. Liverpool are either going to score in the last minute, or it's just going to be a straight 0-0. I genuinely think that is one of the worst games of football I have watched this season. And I pay for Now TV, so I have to watch the Evertons versus West Hams and the Burnleys versus Crystal Palaces. That was one of the worst games I've seen all season. Not because the players didn't play well, because Eric Ten Hag had a very fixated tactic in the game. He's like, right, we're going to try and not fill the midfield, but we're going to try and get the centre backs to play to the wing backs and be able to push it through midfield, and then we're going to try and put balls through to Anthony, Højlund, and Garnacho. And Jurgen Klopp's tactic was play football. Go out there and play football.
And I think that was a mistake. I realised today that Liverpool aren't actually good at playing football. Give them the ball, they won't hurt you.
Yeah.
So this season, I've been saying I don't fancy Liverpool's title contenders because although they can hurt you, they may not hurt you, but they can. They can also be hurt. I think this. How many of the games do they concede first? Like that's not very sustainable.
Yeah.
In the long run. Today was the first time I actually sat and watched them play for a whole 90 minutes, and I realized like give them the ball. It's not really threatening.
No, but I think that's indicative of what's been happening this season with Liverpool. They've been getting away with it. So when they scored 2 last-minute goals, that
A Palace.
yeah, like when they like it, they've
Fulham
not
as well,
been,
home couple of seasons
they've
ago.
not been clicking.
Yeah.
They've not been clicking at all, and even their own fans are like, any danger of someone outside of Salah like contributing because they. So even Jamie Carragher said something today where he was just like, most Liverpool fans, they look at the table and it's like it doesn't actually hit them at their top because they know what they've been seeing.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And today was more of that. Like you look at them and you're like, there's just it's just not right.
Can I play devil's advocate for a second?
Go on.
How's that any different to Arsenal?
Pardon me?
Just playing devil's advocate. In your words, you said Liverpool, they've been getting lucky with a lot of the results.
I don't think Arsenal will be getting lucky though, because Arsenal have actually been the better team in there. Bar what?
Liverpool have been the better team in a lot of their games.
Yeah,
because I think back to Arsenal versus Luton. I think back to Arsenal versus Brentford.
Arsenal, the Luton game, don't let the scoreline fool you. Luton.
I think Luton scored with basically most of their.
I mean, you guys were playing like without a goalkeeper in that game.
Right, was throwing them into the net.
Yeah.
I want to actually think what you said. Like, what's the difference between what Arsenal doing, what Liverpool doing? Arsenal looked very much cohesive. Even when they were shoehorning Havertz into the team, it was still flowing. Like not as good as it was last season. Like
still dominating.
Yeah. So if last season was like prime Arsenal, peak Arsenal, like 10 out of 10, this season they were like an 8. They weren't far off. They were still doing enough.
I'll answer my own question as well. Goals conceded.
I was about to say Arsenal don't give away as many chances as Liverpool.
Yeah,
they don't. Like even today when Liverpool were dominating, that Højlund chance, and Garnacho should have done better on that one. Like they're giving away those chances all the time. So I think that's the biggest difference.
I'm so glad you said this, Daps, because Matthias Højlund. So I changed people's first names. Matthias Højlund now. I think it's a good Scandinavian name.
Mathias
Højlund. Magnus.
Yeah.
My favorite strongman from back in the day was Magnus Bjørn Magnussen.
Yeah, with the short blonde hair.
Yeah. But then it changed. Like I love a bit of Maris Pujanovsky now. Yuka Aloha. I'm a strong man. Like
whoever's the black one in any of these competitions.
The black ones are never strong. You gotta go for Belarusian.
I'm rooting for
Viscous
in these kind of sports like
I don't root for the blacks in these kind of sports. I go for the winners. What is wrong with me, guys? Let me say anything. Was Højlund? So when Manchester United Sport Active signed Højlund for 70 million euros, I said, well, oh my gosh, I said United are paying 70 million euros plus for potential and 9 Serie A goals. 9 Serie A goals and 32 Serie A appearances. Seems pretty good. As far as I'm concerned, that's 1 in 3. Yeah. I was like, surely it's work. But I thought, no, it's not going to work because Atlanta are in a better place than Manchester United Sporting Directive. And now Højlund has played, I think, 17 games for Manchester United. No, less than that. I think it's like 14 games in the league. And he has no goals in the league.
0 goals.
0 goals. If he keeps up this rate, let's just say like he has a game where he gets a hat trick, he gets a brace in 2 games, and then has an okay record over the next. He's not even going to get like 10 goals this season.
I think Odion Igalo has a better goals to game ratio than Højlund.
Well, he must, because Igalo scored, right?
Yeah.
Igalo scored, yeah. Højlund hasn't scored, and
I'm talking about in all comps, which is scary.
Højlund's got in Champions League.
5 in the Champions League.
Joint top scorer of the group stage.
Yeah, 5 in the Champions League.
This is the problem. This is the issue with Man United, and I've been saying it since the start of the season. Main character plot armor. When you think Man United are down bad, someone will pull out a stat that's like, they haven't. It's because Man United, the reason, and I think this is the perfect way to articulate what Man United are as a club. They don't have any identity. The players don't really seem to buy into the tactical prowess of their manager, which means that the manager kind of has to dumb down the tactics in order to be able to get a result out of the players. But another thing about Man United is they're a coin.
You just don't know. Just flip
They're
it.
either going to win or they're going to lose. They're not going to draw.
Today was their first draw of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
In the league.
But the thing with Man United is because they haven't been drawing games, when they win, we all go, okay, great. And when they lose, we go, oh, that's bad. There isn't Arsenal will have some games where you go, do you know what, we should have won that, but I'll take a draw. Or we should have lost that, but I'll take a draw. Man United don't have that. So the way that we view Man United is so binary that we can't look at them with these draws. We can't look at them with these performances, maybe going away to Spurs and getting a draw, maybe going away to maybe like a good team like a Brighton and getting a draw. They don't do that.
Yeah.
So it's heavily compounded when they lose.
Do you know why as well, yeah? I think because when you look at them play, when you actually watch them play,
they're horrible to watch.
There's never a chance. I mean, it's never a thing of they lost that, but they should have won. Or even when they win, it's like, but they should have lost. They won, but they should have lost.
One of the first things they teach you on your further UEFA licenses is phases of play. Yeah. How are you going to play in this zone? How are you going to get that to this zone? And how are you going to get that to this zone? For 10 years, Man United have been stealing a living from, they've basically gone, right, we're going to push our wingers out wide to the edges. The wing backs are going to go far out. Our centre attacking midfielder, whether it's a Bruno, whether it's a Fellaini, whether it's a Juan Mata, we're going to drop them deep and they're going to be kind of like a high pivot. So then once we get a counter-attacking opportunity, that ball goes out to a winger who's going to catch the last man on that line, and that's how United score a lot of their goals when they're at home.
That's how Rashford made his living.
Literally. Playing off of balls from Juan Mata, playing
Bruno
from
Fernandes.
Paul
Pogba.
Yeah. And it's that high pivot player that and obviously the large Man United pitch that gets it. But even today, I can't remember who Gary Neville's co-commentator was.
It was Jeremy Carragher.
There was another one.
Peter Drury.
Yeah,
Peter Drury.
Hey, that's a great acquisition, by the way.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Great acquisition.
I saw that and I was like, wait, what?
That acquisition is.
But what did he say?
He said, Peter Drury said, neither team has played good today, but normally when United go away to another team and they don't play well, they'll just score 3 goals out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I think today, United fans they'll be happy with the result, but the result does not indicate any further progression that they can use. It's not a platform.
I think a lot of their results, I always say, it's like it just seems to always paper over cracks.
Yeah,
they get a result like that, and that's why I thought they would get something today, because last week it was like if they get battered by Bayern and Liverpool, Ten Hag is out. But I just knew Ten Hag will survive. So I just knew that they'd have to get something today. So like when you watch them, you just know that as bad as they are, or as good as a result as it was, whatever. Next game, the nonsense is still going to be there.
Exactly that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Liverpool weren't good either. I think one of you mentioned earlier, they're just literally relying on Salah to do something. Last week, I might have mentioned on last week's show, but when Palace were 1-0 up, I had to leave home and I called one of my friends. I was like, yeah, Palace are winning, but it's cool. Liverpool have got more Salah. My friend's like, nah, he ain't going to do anything. As I was saying it, Salah scored. So it's like they're heavily reliant on Salah and Trent.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, they're not the Liverpool. Hello?
Yeah, go on.
They're not the Liverpool, the peak Liverpool. Wijnaldum, Henderson, Fabinho, Salah, Mane, Firmino. It's not that now. They're trying to. I feel like they're trying to learn how to play football now.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced with Dominic Szoboszlai. I feel like he's got ability, but for me, no. I know he's good. I'm not saying I'm not convinced. I'm not saying he's a bad player.
I think he's probably one of the.
No. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. So he's a good player. I know that, but there's loads of players that are good. Yeah, Ravel Morrison is good.
No,
what
I think
I don't think he's a difference maker. I don't think he's a difference maker.
I think he is.
I think he's a difference maker.
And you're basing that upon what?
Watching him play. I said earlier in the season that for me, I know people are going to think I'm mad for saying this, but he's probably like my son of the season. Like, I think he's so good, and a lot of what he does goes under the radar.
I had him on player cam today, and maybe it's a bad day for me to put on
Maybe
player
no.
Oh, today?
Yeah. No, he didn't do well today.
But you know what Liverpool did today? Liverpool did that thing when you're in a five-a-side tournament, and you're the best team, and you come up against one of the worst teams, and your tactical approach just goes out of the window, and you just go, boys, let's play ball, we'll score eventually. Did you see Liverpool literally almost scored in the first 30 seconds?
I think they took the game for granted, to be honest.
I think they definitely.
I think they thought they were going to just come and turn over.
I think Jurgen Klopp's team talk before the game didn't go. It didn't sound like, right, boys, It sounded like,
it's Manchester United. It's Manchester United, guys.
Right?
You gotta go out there and you gotta win.
And I think Jurgen Klopp probably pumped them up. And I think something does need to be said about that Anfield crowd. I'm not going to be one of those guys that's like, oh, it's filled with tourists, blah, 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 because football is for everybody. Football is for everyone. But what I will say is that Anfield that I grew up watching is not the same Anfield today.
I think it was just today, though, I reckon.
I've seen, trust me, there's a reason why Liverpool are never live on Sunday afternoons against Bournemouth, because it is a library.
That's why they're doing the Saturdays, yeah? Wow.
It's a library. Anfield is a library.
Liverpool, are they contenders for the title?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Manchester United, they're contending for what? Survival?
Europe of some sort, maybe Conference League.
That'd be great, you know, to see Manchester United Sport Directive.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, I'm gonna show you guys the clip of actually where I got that from, because everyone's know like why do I say Manchester United Sport Directive? The full transcript is I see no progression. When they suck Oli, they bring in man who's not even manager. He's a sport directive.
Oh, who said that?
Ronaldo.
Yes.
So I'm going to find it because I keep it on my phone all
Piers
the
Morgan.
time. Yeah.
Yes.
So like, if you guys want to know why I say Manchester United sport directive, I've just put things together and then come to that. Bear with me, guys. I should cut this out of the
It's okay.
How's your Piers Morgan?
P-I-E-R.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, cool. I'm gonna play an ad properly, guys. While I'm waiting for this ad to do its thing, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Armchair Gaffers. It's not playing now. Just
the best managers in the world follow Sir Alex Ferguson, and they've all been relative failures compared to other stages of their careers. Do you think that partly that's down to the structural element of this, that there just isn't the support that top managers need?
I don't know what's going on, but since the Sir Alex Ferguson left, I saw not evolution in the club. The progress was zero. For example, we have an interesting point that how the club as Manchester United, after suck Ole, they bring sport directive.
Sorry, guys. That's it. That's why I say Manchester United Sport Directive. If you wanted to know, now you know. I play that clip every night before I go to bed.
Wow.
Literally. So
to
yeah.
sleep. Put you to sleep.
Cool. Where are we going now? Chelsea?
We're going to move over to a bus stop in Hounslow, because
Brentford. Aston Villa.
Aston Villa. Yes.
Let's dust this over quickly. I don't want to talk about them for too long.
Okay. Well, if we're going to dust it off quickly, we'll just go through the Aston Villa part of this.
Just do your thing and let's
not going to talk about Brentford too much, but Aston Villa ran out 2-1 winners against Brentford today.
Was it sending off?
Huh?
Was it sending off?
2 sending offs.
But was it sending off though?
Me?
It wasn't. I saw it.
Yes. In the rules of in the laws of the game, it is a sending off. In my personal opinion, if I was a Sunday League ref and I saw that, I'd be like, look, mate, watch out. But in the laws of the game, And obviously, as a Villa fan, I'm gonna use the whole laws of the game argument. That is my bias. In the laws of the game, it is a sending off. He had his studs up. He went in pretty reckless. And Leon Bailey, he hadn't stationed his leg yet. So if he was caught, it would have been a bad challenge. If we want to talk about not being a red, it was Boubacar Kamara. He wasn't even the person that initiated that whole scuffle. It was Emiliano Martinez. And my friend who's a Brentford fan texted me after the game. He said, I'm not going to laugh, I'm not going to cry. I'm just going to ask you, why on earth did Emiliano Martinez get to full time? And I'll say, we've asked that question a lot of times. But he is the man that won Lionel Messi a World Cup. Aston Villa have won 25 Premier League games in 2023. Their most top flight wins in a calendar year in their entire history. Do you want to guess how many teams have earned more points in this calendar year than Aston Villa?
I'll say 1.
1?
City.
It is in fact 1, and it is in fact City. Aston Villa have earned more points than the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United, Newcastle, Brighton.
Is there a trophy for that?
Trophy? Yeah, literally.
There is not a trophy for that.
Oh, okay.
But
Welcome to, you got to, with these things you're saying, you're going to enter a new realm where no one's happy for you. So you're saying this stuff now, no one gives a damn.
And this is what I'm going to say to the audience. You can be happy for yourselves. To all you non-top 6 fans out there, we can celebrate trophies like this one. Because once upon a time, we were away to the likes of Rotherham and sneaking a result against Rotherham. Now we are winning against Brentford, getting us to second in the table for about 2 hours. But we are now third on goal difference. When Unai Emery replaced Gerrard, Villa was 17th with 9 points from 11 games and a -9 goal difference and looked utterly rudderless. Just over a year later, we are now third, level on points with second, Liverpool, 1 point behind Arsenal. Brentford had lost 4 of their last 5 matches before today, so I'm not really going to talk about Brentford. I think the Thomas Frank smell and essence is kind of worn off.
I think once Tony comes back, they'll be back again.
It's not just Tony though.
Yeah, but in Bomo's,
he's not going to play. He's not going to play for Brentford. I don't think so.
No.
I think he might get a couple games in, but he went on Diary of a CEO and he was like, these are clubs that I would love to like. These are not. He didn't go, I would love to play for Real Madrid one day. He went, no. This is teams that I have shortlisted to move to. That's what he's on a Diary to see.
Yeah, but I think if them teams still have to come in for him, and I think if Arsenal don't come in for him, he stays at Brentford.
If Arsenal come in for Tony, he leaves.
Well, he said if they don't come in for him,
if they don't come in for him, then I think he stays. I think he probably feels he owes Brentford as well.
I feel that as well.
Yeah,
possibly. Obviously, I don't know Ivan Toney personally. I can't say.
It'll be a bit shitty though if he just like left now. Like they've stuck by him during this ban. He's training again these last few weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah.
When's it back? January, isn't it?
January. Yeah.
15th, 17th.
Maybe Ivan Toney can save Brentford. But speaking of strikers in the Premier League, only 4 players have scored 5 goals and assisted 5 goals in the Premier League this season. Bukayo Saka,
Mbeumo,
Mo Salah, Ollie Watkins, and Leon Bailey.
Mbeumo's not there.
Mbeumo's not there.
Lovely. We're done with Villa now. Can we move on?
One more. Watkins has scored 9 goals, got 8 assists in 17 games. The only player to record more GA this season is Erling Braut Haaland. I'm going to be a very humble Villa fan and say that.
Is that what we're doing?
I've got to be humble because I can list the stats because you can't dispute facts, but you can dispute opinion. In my opinion, I think we will fall off at some point this season. But the thing about the Premier League is you need to split the 38-game season into segments. In this segment, I think Unai Emery is saying, right, let's earn as many points. Is that Jude again?
Yeah.
Let's earn as many points as possible so that if we do go on a run of not winning 5, 6, 7 games, at least we've accumulated the points in the season so that we do kind of buffer to a good spot. Look at Newcastle last season. Started off really well.
Yeah.
And then when they tailed off, they still had enough points in the bank and enough momentum. One last question.
Oh, for fuck's sake. How many?
Villa, where do you think they finished this season?
6th.
6th?
5th.
Moving down the road. Yeah.
Fucking hell. Guys, before we continue, TJ's new to this. Okay, he's a Villa fan.
You guys are moving like Sky Sports.
No, I'm moving like tired man.
When the 2 o'clock game finishes and there's a top 6 game afterwards, they show the highlights for 3 minutes and they go, right, enough of that.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the big teams.
Literally.
You know the bit in Match of the Day when like, and here's the rest of the games.
Yeah.
Moving on to the other side.
Wait, before we go there, guys, if you're enjoying Armchair Gaffers, please be sure to like the show. Conti Corner's back.
Yes.
Conti Corner's back. It came out last week on a Thursday. This week is out Wednesday via live stream. We went live at 9:30 p.m. this Wednesday. That's 9:30 Greenwich Mean Time.
Greenwich Mean Time.
We're on GMT because we're in the winter time. Otherwise, it'll be BST, British Summertime. We're on GMT, so 9:30.
Oh, it's not always GMT?
No, only for half the year. Right now, we're on GMT. In March, we're going back to BST. Yeah, so tune in for our Conti Corner live stream. We back, baby. Ha ha. I got a guest as well, an actual Napoli fan. Yeah, so we'll have the proper European, the eyes and the pies and the skies and the thighs. Yep, let's go.
Moving on to Chelsea, 2-0 against Sheffield United.
They're a horrible team.
Oh, they're so bad.
Like, no. The only thing worse than drawing 0-0 at Anfield to Manchester United Sport Directive is beating Sheffield United only 2-0. It's the same thing. Like,
do you know what it is? It's not just the fact that it's just 2-0. It's
That's
not like they
horrible.
battered them. You know when Man City played them earlier in the season? I don't know if you remember that.
6-0?
No. It was like they just about.
What, Sheffield?
Yeah.
It was 5.
Was it 5?
I think it was 5.
Yeah.
I'm talking Tottenham. I'm talking to when Tottenham played them.
Okay, yeah.
They battered them.
That was 2-1.
Yeah, they battered, but it was like
Or 3-2, sorry.
But they battered them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like Chelsea didn't batter Sheffield United. Yeah. They're just so bad, and do you know what? I don't want to single out anyone, but we dodged a bullet with Mudryk, you know.
Question, we did dodge a bullet, yeah? Who is worser? Mikhailo Mudryk or Antoine Anthony?
Mikhailo Mudryk.
Is worser than Antoine Anthony. Not worse?
Worser.
Like the pressure.
Yeah. I watched Anthony today and I was like, do you know what?
That's probably the best I've seen Anthony, to be fair.
I see what you're trying to do here. When I watch Mikhailo Mudryk, I go, I saw what you were trying to do here 5 seconds ago. Why is the ball that far in the stand?
Nah, I'm gonna say Anthony.
You think Anthony's worse?
The reason why I think Anthony's worse is because Anthony knows what he should be doing, and he's never in the position. Mudryk at least gets into position. He's just woeful at the final bit. I just think more time.
I had a point to make on Manchester United.
Go.
Eric Ten Hag needs to go, because how do you go back to your former club Ajax with players who you know, and you sign a winger who isn't Mohamed Kudus?
Yeah.
And that winger is Antoinette. Maybe Antoinette. Let him eat cake. Because that's probably the only thing he's good at. He's horrible. How did Ten Hag go back to Ajax and overlook? How did he go to Ajax? Say, yo, Mohamed Kudus, do me a favor. Can you tap that brother over there, Anthony, and tell him I want to sign him? Like, what the hell happened there? Like, for that alone, Eric Ten Hag needs to stay for me, because I need him to lose. But yeah, back to Chelsea.
Was Kudus there when they went Champions League final?
No.
He wasn't.
No.
But he played under Ten Hag, right?
Yeah, one season. I think one season.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Chelsea are bad. Oh, Chelsea fans got onto me when I just asked about Enzo Fernandez, and now look, he's been dropped.
But do you know what? He got dropped.
He didn't play today. He didn't start, at least. Sorry.
So the thing about Enzo, the reason why I'm not surprised is because I think people forget literally the summer before he went there.
He was at River Plate.
He got signed for 8 million. Yeah. And then because of one World Cup, like he wasn't even a 30 million player.
Yeah.
But one World Cup comes and all of a sudden he's going for 100 mil.
Yeah.
I think people forget that.
He's basically Salif Diao. Remember, you don't even know Salif Diao.
I've heard.
What year was that? 2002. Yeah, Salif Diao. All them Cameroonians, Senegalese. There were Senegalese people from like 2002, like Salif Diao. Just Salif Diao. This all nicked moves based off of one World Cup in Tokyo.
El Hadj
Juve.
Yeah.
Enzo came from Benfica, didn't he?
Yeah.
They've got another. This is why I love Portuguese football clubs. They went, right, we'll sell that one for 115. João Neves, centre mid for Benfica.
I've heard of them, but I haven't seen.
They
much.
just churned out another one.
Like, I don't know how good Enzo is, because Chelsea fans swear blind he's good, and I look and I see like very competence. I see competence, and I know every week I get onto him.
I think he's good, but he's not the player that they think he is, basically. But I do think he's good. I think if they had bought him for 15 million,
he'll be a steal.
yeah, he'd be alright. But also, I feel like they need a bit more like leadership in that midfield. And Conor Gallagher, I see what they're trying to do, but it's not him. It's not him.
I think Conor Gallagher's a really, really good. Like, what am I seeing something? I think Conor Gallagher's a really, really good footballer.
He's just normal, like basic.
I think Conor Gallagher slots into Liverpool
because of the style of play, the energy, But in terms of like ability, like you can't trust him.
I think if you want to get to a certain place where you're champions and blah blah, I don't think Conor Gallagher is the guy. I think Conor Gallagher's level is. I know whenever he gets named in that starting lineup and he sees the captain armband him, he's pinching himself. He's not. I don't think that's his
I hear that, but I think what Conor Gallagher does, you can't really teach. You can't teach a player to be that tenacious, win the ball back that many times.
Yeah.
The game against Man City, he was incredible in that game.
Yeah, but that's just who he is. I remember when Arsenal played Crystal Palace, and we lost, and he was at Palace, and he was the reason why.
Yeah.
And I understand that, but
we lost.
Yeah.
No, at Palace.
Yeah.
No. Open game of the season. No, we won 2-1.
No, that was the season before.
Oh, that was the one before, innit?
Yeah. No, that was last season. But the season before is the one I'm talking about. But what I'm trying to say is that he's good. I'm not going to sit here and say Gallagher's not good. But for what they want him, I mean, for where they want to be, I don't think he's that guy. Unless you change his role a bit, but then you can't put him in there as a 6.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But Liverpool, he'll fit him. He'll be like Henderson.
Yeah.
Who weren't the greatest on the ball and that.
No,
he brings
a certain thing.
But for Chelsea, nah. I think they're looking for leaders right now, and he's just not the one.
Speaking of potential Chelsea leaders, Raheem Sterling has been directly involved in 181 goals in the Premier League, 120 goals, 61 assists. That is the same number as Michael Owen and Dennis Bergkamp.
Oh, he's better than both of them, to be fair.
No,
that's a joke.
Prime Owen.
That's a joke.
I was waiting for him.
No, I was just trying to think. I was just like, no. Prime Owen was something special. Yeah, have you heard his story about when he used to throw the apple into the bin?
No.
Just Google. You guys might have seen it. Just search it. Michael Owen
throwing
an apple into the bin and getting a nod of approval from his dad. It's great. But where are we? Chelsea? Yeah, Chelsea, Gallagher. I'm not convinced. Like, the problem with Chelsea is that they're going to sign more players and then have to redo the rebuild. I don't know what happens when Lavia comes. You've got Gallagher, Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo Fernandez who all play there.
Plus, you've got who's that black guy?
That one. Yeah, Uku Chukwuemeka.
He ain't gonna be there long, man.
Like you got too many players that play in the same position. Like it's not sustainable.
Speaking of black Chelsea footballers, Cole Palmer has been directly involved in 13 goals in 19 appearances since signing from Manchester City this summer. The last 3 instances of a Chelsea player scoring and assisting in a Premier League game: Cole Palmer versus Sheffield United, Cole Palmer versus Spurs, Cole Palmer versus Burnley.
He's a good player, man. I like him a lot.
Worth 45
mil?
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
At first, I was like a bit skeptical because I think he had like 4 goals, but they're all 4 penalties. But I know he's good, but good isn't enough.
Yeah.
Again, Ravel Morrison was good. Damari Gray or Marcus Rashford, they're the same person. Like they're good, but like there's levels to like goodness. But he looks a steal. It's just a shame that Chelsea are going to sign someone to replace him next summer.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I feel like with a player like him, it's almost the thing about City was that that's the right environment to be in if he's starting because he's got other players to. But the thing about Chelsea, where I feel like he might go wrong with them, is that even though he will be one of their starters, it's almost he's not at that level yet where he can do it by himself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I think that will end up ruining him because the pressure will just be too much.
What might happen to Palmer is he'll have a couple good seasons. He might win him like a Carabao Cup. Man United will sign him for 75 mil, and then the universe will reset and continue. Is this a positive result for Chelsea, or is it the same old?
That's positive
because it's points, but we can't take any indication on future performances based off of that. It's just literally like they're like a coin, like you said earlier about United. Yeah. They can lose. I don't know if they got next week, but they will lose that game.
Yeah.
Quickly on Sheffield United, 2 wins all season, and they've only scored 12 goals, lowest of any Premier League side this season, and they've only scored more than 1 goal in 2 games all season, which was against Wolves and Everton. Can Chris Wilder save Sheffield United, or should they just start budgeting with their?
Who was the centre back that they had when they were first getting into the Premier League?
Basham.
Yeah, is he still there?
No.
Then no.
It's Ahmed Zodjovic, who was supposed to be next up,
no,
but he's not. So
Sanderberg was good for them.
Where's he now?
But no, he's at Sheffield United.
Still,
No.
Yeah.
Something better than that, Sheffield United.
No, he's at Burnley.
Yeah.
Burnley
Okay,
bought him.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Burnley bought him. Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of Burnley, they lost 2-0.
We'll get into overtime now. Let's dust over these last.
Should we dust
few.
over? Burnley lost 2-0 to Everton. I know you want to say something about Sean Dyche.
So, as a Millwall fan, I feel ashamed to have not remembered that Sean Dyche played for Millwall, and I now support Sean Dyche.
Is that what you want to say?
And he looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He does look like
And he
that.
looks like Philippe Senderos.
Random, I met Sean Dash by the Tate one time.
Oh yeah.
Years ago, I was going to work. He was still manager of Burnley. And then I saw one guy, and it must have been about 11 a.m. And he was with his wife. I was like, is that you, Sean? And I was like, oh. And then I thought, let me use this as a chance to get a trial. I was like, oh, do you think I could just come and show up at your ground? And he goes, and then he let me know in no uncertain terms that will not be happening. But yeah, that was my thing.
How many years ago was this?
No, years ago. It's probably like 7 years ago.
Sean
So
Dyche.
you was well past it, but by then,
Definitely not well past it, no.
what, to go and straight to Premier League club?
Oh no, I've never been that level anyway. So,
okay.
but you know, there's been many
get.
players.
Don't ask, don't get.
Yeah, there's been many players that have not been able to do that, but they're still there anyway.
Yeah, speaking of Sean Dyche, obviously came up against his old team. Burnley, only 2 wins all season against Luton and Sheffield United. So at least they're better than the guys that they came up with. They sit second bottom, having spent £100 million in the summer, spending more than Aston Villa, Everton, Wolves and Brighton with the 7th highest net spend. But they cannot.
You got to speculate to accumulate.
Everton got 4 in the bounce now, innit?
Yeah, but prior to that, they lost to United, but prior to that, they'd won the last 2 before that as well.
Yeah.
But I think there was like a draw and 2 wins.
I think they've got, they have won, I don't have it down here, but I think Dyche has injected fresh impetus into their season. His players collecting their 10th victory in the past 14 games in all competitions.
That's mad.
Moving up to 16th in the table.
It's so funny how they got in the moment when they've been deducted 10 points. Everyone's like, you know what, relegation.
No?
Out within 2 games.
Yeah, no. It was 3 games. But
Yeah,
the moment they got that 10-point deduction, I said, this is the perfect season. Because this is the only season where like you can get a 10-point deduction, and it's cool because
the other
you've got
teams
Burnley,
are just
Sheffield, Luton, and even Bournemouth are doing better now.
but Bournemouth are alright.
Kicking on.
So
kicking
they're
on.
okay.
Moving on.
I think quickly, if they hadn't had the 10-point deduction, they would be only 2 points behind Manchester United Sport Directive.
They'd be in the top. They'd be in the top half of the table, ahead of Brighton. Anyway, moving on up to the City ground, where on Friday night Spurs ran out 2-0 winners. 10-man Tottenham condemned Nottingham Forest to a 5th Premier League defeat in 6 games. Forest, who sit 16th in the table, 5 points clear of the bottom 3, have now just won once in their previous 13 matches in the English top flight, and the outcome of this contest is only likely to increase the pressure on boss Steve Cooper.
Yep, enough said about that. We can move on.
Perfect.
Good goal from Kulusevski, and Charleston scored another header. I think he's only scored only one of his goals at Tottenham has not been a header.
Yeah.
That was the one from the previous game. People talking a lot about Richarlison. Like, he's not good. Someone said he can't stop scoring. He literally scored all his goals for Tottenham this season.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've never really been a Richarlison fan. I think he's good, but from when I've seen him at Everton, Watford, I just never understand why everyone keeps paying 50 million for him. Like,
Everyone's just playing 50 million.
yeah, I just don't understand. And I just think he's all right.
Single name, he's Brazilian.
I don't think he's even all right. Literally, I just think he's just there.
I think he's a good player. I think he just was lacking in confidence.
Wouldn't get into your team.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, he wouldn't get into our team. But
Do you know how mad that is right now, bro? To say he wouldn't get into Villa's team.
He wouldn't, though.
Just shows how
got
well you lot are doing.
yeah, we got a very very good team. Moving up north to Newcastle, ran out 3-0 winners against Fulham. Raul Jimenez getting a red card.
You think that was a red card?
No, not for me. Not for me.
I can't
100% no,
remember
not
what
for
it
me.
looked like. I don't even think I watched the highlights of that game.
He jumped high and his bum hit the
Yeah,
player,
that's not a red card.
Yeah. If the keeper does that, it's not a red card. There we go.
There we go. 17-year-old Lewis Miley became Newcastle's youngest Premier League goal scorer as the Magpies bounced back from Champions League elimination with a win over 10-man Fulham. The result ended Newcastle's run of 3 successive defeats. Eddie Howe did say something. I've got a quote here. This is my best Dan impression, pulling quotes into the document. Had our squad been less stretched, we believe we would have had the quality to go further and complete in the latter stages. Eddie Howe, shut the fuck up.
SCF
Everyone has got injuries.
Yeah, SCF Eddie Howe, tired of you. You're no longer the national darlings. We've seen your true colours, Newcastle United Sport Directive.
Anything you guys want to say on the Newcastle Fulham game?
No. I think Marco Silva did talk about the referees and fouls. He said something on the lines of it's you can't foul Newcastle players, but they can do what they want.
Yeah,
And that's true though.
Yeah, and it's a disgrace.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've never actually really thought about it like that. But as he said it, it literally just clicks like, no, it's true.
It's true.
They get away with murder
Every game. Who's paying the wages?
Every game they get away with murder.
Endless pockets. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a disgrace.
It's a disgrace. Asked if the referee was not experienced enough. Marco Silva said, clearly, no doubt.
Is he being fined? What's that PGMO doing?
Premier League offices open Monday
Arteta's
morning.
not getting fined, is he?
I said I got a yellow card today for waving at Martinelli.
Do you know what I don't like though? Martinelli, was it Martinelli? Ben White pulled back a player today.
Yeah, a little bit. It was Mitoma. Yep.
You know, straight after that happened, Mitoma went like that.
That's a
Wait,
card.
who?
Mitoma. Curry
Went like
Mitoma.
Who?
Mitoma.
For Brighton.
Who's that?
Is there some kind of joke we're missing here?
I don't know. Let me,
Who's Kara Matoma? Brighton player. Where does he play?
Therefore, carry on because you're being wild right now.
No. Where does he play?
You're trying.
Is he that winger that everyone said was like really, really good last season? And I just haven't heard anything from him.
That's the one, the Japanese guy.
Ah, okay.
I knew he was trying to be funny.
I still think he's really
You guys are genuinely worried I didn't know who Kara
Yeah.
No, I knew he was
No, I
trolling.
knew, but I just
I knew you were
said,
trolling.
But he went like that. No booking.
Yeah, and that's a booking.
Yeah.
And he got booked afterwards, reluctantly.
Yeah, you see Dello.
Yeah.
I don't think
Red card, yeah. We didn't talk about the red card.
Yeah, I think
that's the
so
same
bad.
referee that gave Martinelli the double yellow.
Yeah, I think that's so bad.
Yeah.
Do you think like there should be something done about double descent?
No.
No, but you know what it is as well, yeah? Dello was right. It was a United throw. It was a United throw, and then
refs are protected and players cannot speak.
I think refs just pick and choose when they want to implement rules and stuff like that. Because when that happened to Martinelli that time, it didn't happen again, and that happens every week.
Exactly. Exactly. Like that is the refs. They're the most protected species. Peter, Greta Thunberg must love referees because they're so protected. She's the one protecting them, yeah.
Last game of there's one more.
No, there's not.
There's one more.
Please, no. I want to go home.
You're going to want to skip over this very, very
I
quickly.
want to go home, please.
West Ham 3, Wolves 0.
Kudus. And Bowen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To them.
Do you want to guess where West Ham are in the table?
14th?
6th.
8th. Do you know? Have a guess how many points they are behind Man United?
None.
2.
So they are where Everton would be.
Yeah. West Ham, they've got 4 wins in their last 6 games. It's just a bit spluttered because they lost 5-0 away to Fulham. I was hearing shouts of Moyes out. Are West Ham top 7 dark horses?
No. My friend who lives near the stadium, he's got a lot of West Ham friends, said that the fans are unhappy because of the brand of football.
Yeah.
Who the hell do you think you are, West Ham?
You know what it is? I think now that they've had a bit of European glory, they now think that they're bloody Sevilla. So they just want to just change up. And they've got a couple good players who, like Paqueta, Kudus. I think they're just expecting a whole different thing, forgetting that they still got Suchek.
And Kufal.
Yeah.
And Pablo Fornals.
I like it though.
Yeah. Before we go, do you ever look at that? This is for you. Do you ever look at a picture of Declan Rice and be like, I can't believe we've got this guy?
No, but when I you know when that normally happens, when I see him play for England. When I see him play for England, I'm like, this is an Arsenal player.
When I see him like in the training kit, just training, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Because it's been a long time since Arsenal have got like a marquee English person. Like back in the day, yeah, like Theo Walcott, Aaron Ramsey, not English, but you know what I mean.
So Campbell was the
Francis Jeffers.
big one.
Yeah, I guess.
No, I think Sol Campbell was the last big one. Like
exactly. And now I'm like, wow, like If it wasn't for Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane, and Saka, this man would be the face of England.
Bro, you see,
That's true.
You see Declan Rice here. The thing about him is that there's attributes that he just doesn't have. Like sometimes I wish he would take the safety off.
Yeah.
Like I think he can be a bit safe sometimes, but that's fine. But there's other things like the commentator today for the Arsenal match was saying, anytime Brighton play that ball into the midfield, Declan Rice is there to pick them up.
Yeah. He's waiting.
Bro, do you know how mad I wouldn't want to play centre midfield knowing that Declan Rice is there?
Yeah, it's funny because he got subbed off in the Chelsea game, didn't he? And that's when
Tottenham.
Chelsea's Tottenham game. That's the
Tottenham,
one.
and then
Half-time,
and then it all
that's
went.
when they
Yeah.
came back into it. Yeah, he's invaluable to Arsenal. I think for me, he's the difference maker. Him and Saliba and Gabriel saying fit, difference makers.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm tired. You know, I just get tired of talking about Saliba and Gabriel.
You guys, I'll give it to you as a non-Arsenal fan. This is the best Arsenal team I've seen personally, because again, like the Invincibles was a tiny bit before my time. This is the best Arsenal team I've seen. Even when you guys were fighting for the title in the late 2000s, early 2010s.
Yeah, nothing like this.
It's just annoying because like we've had some real good teams that were only ever 2 or 3 signings away.
If this team had, as much as I love Martinelli, we can upgrade him. If this team had Sanchez instead of Martinelli, then it will be a foregone conclusion. This league's title.
Yeah.
I'd like this. That if I could make one change,
Do you know who I wish we had in the 8?
Alexander Song, Rosicki,
No.
Hleb,
Rosicki.
Yeah,
Rosicki was my guy.
Who's
man.
better, Rosicki or Odegaard?
I think Rosicki, you know.
Rosicki was a different kind of
Yeah,
baller,
but
man.
Rosicki was too good, man.
That's really Odegaard. Guys, we're gonna end it here because we can go here. We can be here all day. We got some stuff coming out on Wednesday, and me and Letitia got some stuff coming out we're gonna do some planning in the future. So just stay tuned. I'll let you close out since you're Dan.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Please. Okay. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And please comment. If we don't see you,
We'll see you.
we'll see you.
Peace.